Welcome back to Satisfactory. Now I've finally found a permanent home for the space elevator up here at the corner of the upper factory floor. I think I'll just leave it here. This is a 9x9 foundation square, and I have built some foundation columns and stuff like that. So what we need to do now is to produce 2,500 versatile framework. That'll take some time. We need 500 modular engines, and we need 100 adaptive control units. So I looked at the maths for that in between episodes, and I also did some preliminary work as per usual. So we have the various recipes that we need to get up and running. For this, we have some of them in assemblers, and we have some of them in manufacturers. So I just had these here for reference. Now the actual numbers that we need one assembler at least making smart plating, and the smart plating is for the modular engines, and one assembler making smart plating will of course, let's see here, actually the smart plating is made in a constructor, but no, in an assembler I mean. Let's see, smart plating here. Smart plating takes 2 reinforced iron plates and 2 rotors per minute to produce 2 smart plating per minute. So that's the first basic recipe we need for the modular engine, whereas the modular engine itself requires, in addition to the smart plating, it also requires 15 rubber and 2 motors. And then we have the adaptive control units. Those require automated wiring, which is this one, which takes 2.5 stators and 50 cable per minute to make 2.5 automated wiring per minute. Now, the adaptive control unit, on the other hand, not that one, this one, requires 7.5 automated wiring per minute. So that created a conundrum in regards to cable and whether or not I would have to go find another copper node or whatever I should do, but we'll get back to that. It also requires 5 circuit boards, it requires 1 heavy modular frame, and it requires 1 computer per minute. So except for the cable for the automated wiring, we have the stuff we need for that as well. One slight issue is going to be the rotors and the stators, specifically since this one need motors, and the automated wiring requires stators. So I'm going to be running on the buffer for that. I think that we have enough, otherwise I will have to expand the stator production array, because currently we're making 20 rotors and 20 stators, which is then converted into 10 motors. So when we get around to that, I will look at whether or not the buffer is enough. So the final part we need, of course, would be the versatile framework, which is also handily made in this, and it requires 2.5 modular frames and 30 steel beams per minute. We don't have 30 steel beams currently because we are using steel beams to make encased industrial beams, but we can change the industrial beam recipe to an alternate one where instead of using industrial beams we can make the encased industrial pipe, there it is, which will instead take steel pipe rather than steel beams, and it will be a little less concrete, but it would also create less parts per minute, so we are going to need more of the assemblers making this. Specifically, to get 20 we require 5 of these. We are currently making 12, so I am over producing for the buffer and so forth, because we have 2 machines doing this. So that is the plan we have here. Now, to produce all that cable, I found a solution for that, so I've been dabbling with that out at the refinery. Before we go there though, let me just check quickly. Might as well do this. There's nothing I need to do out at the refinery anyways.
Milestone reached. Several buildings aimed at factory traversal can now be accessed in the build menu. Caution is recommended during use of these products.
Indeed. So here you can see I have 4 refineries in the main base. But we'll get back to those. You can also see the pipeline going down there. That was interesting to build. Now this, I believe, will be temporary, but I'm not sure. It might actually be permanent, but I don't know if we need that much cable. I can't remember. But even if it isn't temporary, it might become permanent. I've built it so that it shouldn't look too imposing. So we have 2 refineries here, and both of them are producing heavy oil residue and polymer resin. And that meant that I had to get the 3rd oil pipeline in. So I built the 2 oil nodes that are normal and overclocked them to 125%. 2 normal oil nodes at 125% produces exactly 300 cubic meters of crude oil, which means that this is actually the pipe coming from the normal nodes, the ones that I mentioned in the power plant episode, that I would be splitting off to the left here instead of the second one. The second one is now going over here, and it's going into this part of the factory where we are. We have a lot of oil to spare, but we have the production of heavy oil residue, which is necessary for the next recipe, but we're only using 60 out of those 300, so there's plenty of crude oil to spare here. And the resin I'm just sending into this sink. I have plenty of tickets in overflow. So the pipe was an interesting thing to build in terms of... I built a pump there, and then the pipe is straight, so it took a long while to fill up. So I'm really glad that I did this off camera, because the amount of time spent waiting for that pipe to fill up was just yikes. But the pipe is just following the belts on the next level down there. If we need more belts, we can always take them above, because I've also made sure that the vertical part of the pipe down there supports that. And I have a pump down there as well. And then I have the final pump here at the top of the foundation, not clipping in the foundation, but the pipe itself is clipping through the foundation because I couldn't build a fence there. And I don't want to fall down. Not that it would damage me, I think, but it's annoying. I have a pump here. And all I have to do now is... well, we need to build a stack pipeline support here, and we need to build a pipeline going from there to there. And very slowly that pipe will fill up, but it will go much quicker if we activate the pump. As you can see, much quicker indeed. Now, these are going to be running at clock speed 80%, which gives us a target production rate of 54 cable per minute. Notice that 100% gives us 67.5 parts per minute, and it requires 37.5 wire and 15 heavy oil residue. We're producing 80 oil residue, or heavy oil residue, out at the refinery currently. But the reason we are going to run this at 80% is because of the wire, because I believe that should put the wire at 30. And incidentally, those 2 constructors we have here that are producing a whooping 60 cable uses 120 wire. So we will be more or less nearly doubling that production by doing it in the refineries here. And we do need a lot of wire for or cable for the parts for the space elevator. What we'll be doing now is something that I usually don't do on camera, but I thought that we could do it on camera this time. We will be tearing down this production line here. Might have to use the sink for some spare parts here. Not yet. We don't need this power pole. We don't need this power pole. We don't need that power pole. This one, I believe that these are no longer connected, so we have to connect. Let's see here. Let's remove the stuff first. Oh, another thing I did was that I upgraded all of the belt underneath to Mark IV. That means that some of them are overproduced or over-transporting wildly, but I'd rather just have them all upgraded because of convenience reasons than having to do that over again. I think I'll just connect that power pole to this one. There we go. Now this is going to be in the way, but I'll just leave it here for now. This looks... Let's see here. Instead of having it go like that, let's just build a power pole here. Now I can connect that power pole to that one. And that power pole can be connected to that one. And that one can be connected to that one. And thus we can remove that. And that. There we go. That looks a bit neater. I'm not even sure if that power pole is needed. Can I just connect that to that? I think I can. Much better. Okay. So that power pole is for the pump. I will require power for the refineries as well. But that will have to wait. What we need to do here is now get that wire back there. And to get the wire back there, I need to look at the height. The wire needs to go on height 5. Because I think that I've already... Yes, I have. The wire has to come in on height 5, and it's currently coming at height 4, I think. See here? 1, 2. So that's 4. Or rather, that's 3, 4, 5. I need to go up 2. Need to do the same on the other side. 1, 2. That's the wrong type. We need a merger, not a splitter. 1, 2, 1, 2. And we remove these things. Yeah, it's definitely time to go over to the sink. Let's click sort. And then we can dump a lot of this wire in here, because I don't need that much wire, nor do I need that much cable. I also think I have way too many encased industrial beams currently. I'll dump 3 of those as well. There we go. And you need to go as well. So we're producing 30, 60, 120. That's going to be slightly inconvenient now. Let's see here. Why doesn't that snap? Is that the correct location? Yep. So we want to avoid the power poles there. So there. And then 2, of course. I forgot that. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll go to Mark II belts. Here we go. And we also have to put down a merger on that angle. That would be this angle. In there. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that should go to there. That should go to there. Now this belt should go to there, but that does not look... Oh, I thought that was at the same height. Ah, that is just... What a relief. That would have been annoying. And we can remove these. And then we can connect that belt. Well, we can't connect it, to be honest. We need... we are about here. So one... Where can I put this without it? Let's try putting it... here. I think that's correct. Well, the conveyor is not correct because that belt is crooked. Yeah, that's one of the things that I needed to do here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Now this is one of the reasons I usually do things off camera when it comes to these tedious things. But I thought that we'd do this on camera for once. There we go. And then the final one needs to be here. Let's just see that that actually becomes a straight belt. Looks straight to me. Yep, much better. I'm amused by some of the suggestions for snapping that the game offers from time to time. Connect those two together and remove the extraneous mergers. Go back to Mark 1 because we don't need to use Mark 2 lifts. That's just silly. That's the correct height. That's the correct height. You can go away. And you connect to that one, and you connect to that one. Now we have wire coming this way, and we also already have the heavy oil residue coming in. The pipe here, trying to connect that pipe is basically just winging it. How you do that, just let me show that, is you add the pipeline junction onto the pipe up there, but you don't get any snap line as far as I know. I don't think you would even get a snap line if you have a pipeline support. Nope. So you just have to wing it. And it usually takes a couple of tries if you want the pipeline to be perfectly straight. But that's good enough. It has a slight curve, but I'm not too worried about that. So we have a lift taking the wire down from level 5 to level 3 because well, I could take it on level 5, but I worry about the clipping there. The lift is... I think it's exactly not clipping into the cliff there. So now we have to place down the splitters for this part of the manufacturing process. And yes, I know I have a tree coming through the floor here. I wanted to avoid that tree. I don't want to cut it down. I know, to some of you that sounds like heresy. I had this nice 4x4 square where the tree could happily grow. But I don't want to cut it down, so we'll have the tree there and some of the branches and leaves coming through the foundation. Because I really don't want to cut down that tree. Mark 2, we do the turn, and I'm not going to bother connecting to the stackable conveyor poles. I'll just do a straight connection. Go back to Mark 1. This requires 37.5 currently, but I haven't powered it, so it should require 30 when we get to that stage of the production. That stage of the production being the part where it's powered. And I'm also should add that I am slightly amused by the fact that I'm actually using this recipe. When I took it as an alternate recipe, I thought, why on earth would I ever use that recipe? And here we are. I have 4 refineries in my main base, and I've struck a long pipeline with heavy oil residue from the refinery into the main base just to make cable. But it's more efficient. And it saves me... Well, it's not more efficient in terms of power, I think, but it saves me a lot of hassle that I would otherwise be annoyed by in terms of having to figure out how to get more copper, which would take me far more time than this has taken me. Let's prepare the lift for this as well. I don't know if I want the container to be there, but... why the hell? We want that to be with this one. That's problematic. I'm not sure that's going to work, actually. Let's see. Just for fun. 1, 2. No, that very distinctly makes a turn. I can't very well move the container either. I was hoping that I wouldn't have... Well, that's one way I can do it, actually. I can go here. That's too far away, I think. 1, 2. I don't remember if it's 2 or 3. Let's see here. That works. Good. And I believe it's aligned as well. Yes. Yep, it is. So there that's a solution that works. Hooray. I need to power these things up because I want to see exactly what they're producing. I'll put the power pole here. Which is not the way that I've done it out of the refinery, but I don't want it to clip through the hypertube. So this goes here. Yep. Remove that power line and connect up like this. Go. There we go. And the refineries are now making sounds, so that's good. Okay. Yep. This is exactly what I wanted. So it's making 54 parts per minute per, which means that we need to do... that's 216. Which incidentally means we need Mark III belts. There we go. Now we're making enough cable for some time to come. Now I have to modify my spreadsheet here. We are no longer making regular cable. We are making... This one goes away. About that. See here. Is in lower floor section A. Need to move this there? No, that's wrong. What I need to do is move... Now this probably... I will pause the game while I do this because I need these numbers to be right. So be right back. There we go. Looking at the spreadsheet, I also noticed that we have a belt that I must upgrade to Mark III, I think. I might already have done that. Let's see here, logistics Mark 3. No, I need to upgrade it to Mark 4. And that's the belt with the... Oh, this is... These holes are here from when I upgraded the belts down there. I think it's supposed to be this way. Yep. I also mentioned in a previous episode that I wanted these beams to go north, south. That's not correct. In the refinery, I actually want them to go so that the beam is inside of the half-pipe foundations. So I want them to go the same direction as the pipes. So out at the refinery, I am not having them going one specific way. They are going. Some of them are going east-west, some of them are going north-south. But yes, we need to upgrade this belt. Because we are using 280 screws, and the belt can only transport 270. You know what? It's probably easier if I just jump up there. Turn off running. Going on a Mark IV belt is quite fun, actually. There we go. That should do the trick. Except for that bouncy bounce. I will need to add more casted screws facilities as well, because I think we're going to need more bolted frames, but I'm not sure. I will get around to that whenever I have done the math for that. We could put the entire screw production on the same belt now, I think. Because some of it goes out for container there. Yeah. I think we'll wait with that until we get Mark V belts. So, I do have the cable that is necessary. What's next? In the production planner, we need reinforced iron plates. We need 2 of them. We have enough of that if we use the mall, because we are using currently 15 out of 22.4. Rotors, we don't have enough of that, so we'll be using the overflow of that, but that's fine. I think we can go and set up this. I want to tear down these first. I need to bring some plastic. Because we're going to need more of the manufacturers. I do have enough motors, but rotors would be handy to have. Oh, that's one thing that I forgot to mention. If you don't want to add the signs, what you can do is just make a belt like this. And voila. You don't even have to make it that long. I think you could make it even shorter than that. Well, okay, you can't. But that's a way to see what's inside a container by just having a tiny little belt stick out of it. We need a stack of rotors. What else do I need? I think I might need some heavy modular frames. 10 of those is not going to be sufficient. Computers I don't need, I think. Can put that back and grab another stack. This should increase the power production or power consumption as well. Yep. So, of course, these buildings that I'm building now will be temporary, so I'm not too concerned with the looks of them. But I'd still want the road to be here, so let's put up 2 conveyor poles so that I know that there's a road going here. Actually, that one's supposed to go there. I can use the entire length and stretch here, but I need the road to be going here. So this one I can actually turn like so. So, okay, where do I even begin? Manufacturer, that's where I begin. I have no clue how to route the belts going to these. We'll get around to that eventually though. There's the snap line. We'll put that down there. Of course that's the wrong snap line. Because I wanted to snap to the other manufacturers, not the... You don't want to snap to the manufacturer? Right, you don't. Well, that's just dandy. I'll just have to walk very carefully then. It's supposed to be on that edge there, so I think there. Of course not. Okay, I'll put a conveyor pole there. Now it snaps. But it's supposed to be one... What is that snap line? Wait, that is the snap line to the manufacturers. Okay. Never mind then. Okay, a modular engine. Let's just leave that there. Build another one. Adaptive control unit. So this one requires smart plating. This one requires automated wiring. And we also need one assembler. Can put that here. And this assembler needs to be making versatile framework. But this is 5 parts per minute. I did have that alternate recipe. Let me just check if that's actually worth it or not here. No. No, it's not. Not at all, actually. Adaptive control unit, modular engine, and versatile framework. So, let me just consider how to set up things behind here so that the episode doesn't end up being 1.5 hours long. And I will be back with you as soon as I have figured that out. Okay, well, I didn't really want to do it like this, but since this is just a setup that I'm doing now, I will find a better way to deal with taking out resources into the production chain than having to use these very high towers of belts that I desperately wanted to avoid in this series. But this was the best way I could think of to do it quickly. And I guess that is relevant for now. We also need to connect up the final belt here, which is the rubber to there. So, yeah, there's a lot of belts here. There are 13 high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And same here. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Way too many belts. In height, that is, because this is a slight annoyance to work with. Works fine when you have a straight line like this, but when you go into dealing with curves and all that kind of things, ugh. And especially if you get higher than this, and as you can see, you have to just hit that 1 pixel or so, which actually connects the belt. So, and the higher it is, the less manageable it gets. Okay, now in here we want stators and cables, and those are on level 9 and level 10. So this will be level 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ah, geesh. There's plenty of splitters that has to be built, that's for sure. Okay, well then. Then we have to go on this angle. Should get a snap line, but there are many snap lines here. So there. Just making sure that I'm on the right line. There, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the next one. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Ugh. That's 5, 6, 7. Let's connect that up there. 8. 9. Well, if it wants to hit, that is. 10. We skip 2. Probably need more iron plates. There's cable and there's stators. Connect that up to there. And this one up to here. And then remove all the additional ones that we don't need. Oh, that's already 50. Wow. Okay. Connect the topmost. No, the topmost Caledorn, the topmost. Connect that one first. And we need power as well, so I should place down the power poles. And then it's a matter of connecting the lifts. It's thankfully not that much of a chore to connect them to the when you have the arrows to go by. There we go. Now power. Okay, does that work? Yep. Can start these machines. So that's the automated wiring machines started up. Good. And geesh, this is highly complicated. We also need to take computers and circuit boards from the floor underneath here. And that needs to come up in a hole somewhere. But let's connect up these meanwhile. We need rotors and reinforced iron plates coming in on this one, and the rotors and the iron plates are on level 8 and 11. Okay, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then this machine takes motors, which is on level 12. It takes rubber, which is on level 7. So 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, I think. 6, 7. And 13. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13, that's wrong. 12. Good. The final one comes from here somewhere. Probably on level 4. Can I? Yes, I can. That is good. Smart plating needs to go into there, and this one is making smart plating, yes. Now we also have to take the distance into account. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we just want to place down a pole here. Of course, the 13th belt goes to that one. So the modular frames. Where do those go? All the way to the end. Okay. Ignore those. The next is rubber. We ignore that. Reinforced iron plates is number 8. That one goes in here. That should be on level 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the rotors here on level 11. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then we connect the motors to that one. But I can't afford that, so I need to go... Well, I don't really need to go. Well, I do. Because otherwise I'll just be running back and forth, tearing down things. 8 stacks of that. The topmost belt is the steel beams. We can connect that to there. Then we can connect the motors to this one. And on 11 we have the rotors, which are supposed to go across, so they can connect to that one. And then that connects to that one. Now we need to tear down. Like so. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the reinforced iron plates. Those connect to there. On 7 we have the rubber, which connects to there. Then we can remove these. And on... what's the next one? Is it anything at all? No, I don't think so. Why have I done... oh, wait, that's the heavy modular frames. We need those as well. Those should come in on level 6. Right, so that would be to level 3 or level 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. And there we go. Those are kind of important. So for this thing, we need automated wire, which we can take this way. On level 4 we have computers, and then again on level 3 we have circuit boards. I'm not sure what way to take them up, and that's something that I'm going to do while I have the recording paused. So the next thing that needs to be connected to this one is computers, and heavy modular frames is the next one, and that was on level 6. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where does the modular frames go? The modular frames go to the very end. Together with the steel beams. So, you know. Okay, you don't want to snap, do you? Well, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that's 4. 5. And steel beams is on 13, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And the modular frames connect to there. Do not remove the machine. So here we have versatile framework. Needs power, of course, but we're getting around to that as well. This one should connect to that one, and this one to up there. And do we have... why do I have that up there? Oh, never mind. This one should connect to that one. And we need to connect up there and there. We need a couple of power poles here as well. And we connect those together, and also with the machine. And I suspect that that's going to be problematic. I'm pretty certain it will be problematic. Yeah, no, that's not going to work because of the power pole. You know what? I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna put the power pole there. Because I think this gives me a perfect line into one of those inputs, and I would much rather have that perfect line rather than having to mess around. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I believe I can just take the belt and put it directly in there. Yes, exactly. It's a smart plating, and I believe that this one requires smart plating. Yep, 2 per minute, which I believe is what this thing produces. Yep. So boom. Then for the automated wiring. I'm not sure why I put that here. It's supposed to be there. And this is wrong. Because this needs to go 2 up. And now what? Then it's encroaching the machine's clearance. Well, gee. Fine. Do it the proper way then. Is that too close? Nope. And this thing has to go here instead. Although I'm not sure if that's going to be... I suspect it's going to be too long. No. It'll work. Looks... Oh, it is correct. Okay. Connect that up. And connect that up to there. Remove these. And this is correct, yes. Which means that I can connect that to there, yes. Well, that's not where we want it, of course. We want it here. No. Careful, does it? That should connect to there, but I don't think that'll work. I'm pretty sure the belt will be too long. Nope. Okay, good. But then what we have to do is connect the mergers here. That should be right, shouldn't it? Yep. I'm very glad this is not something that I need to maintain after we have the space elevator thing sent off. I can remove most of this. Thank you, game. And I can consider more carefully how I want to do this, because I hope I find a better way of doing things than having these humongously tall towers of conveyor poles. Admittedly, it looks very impressive, but it would be nice to have it differently. Heavy modular frames goes into this machine. This needs to be a splitter. Is that correct? Yep. Then we connect the heavy modular frames to this thing. And then we just lack the computers and the circuit boards. And for this thing, we lack the elevators or the lifts, so let's connect up those. There we go. And the final thing we of course need now is power. Where should we take that from? Sure, that'll work. Connect up the machine. That's a good idea too, connect the power there. Okay, now the final thing I'm going to do, and this episode is going to become more than 1 hour long, but I will pause the recording now while I figure out how to get the computers and the circuit boards up here. So be right back. Okay, so I did a little quick hack down here, where I'm taking circuit boards and computers out, and I'm bringing them over to there, where I take them up using the another clearance. I haven't had that happening before when I do this. Because this should connect to there. That's a bit annoying. Oh, I've built it too close, that's why. Okay, well, then this episode will be a little bit longer then. Let's see, this is not where I had it. This is where I had it, so 1, 2, 3. Ah, I've thought it the wrong way around. Of course. I need that one. It wasn't too close. I need that one to go down one more. That's the problem. And yeah, I will pause the recording while I fix this because, yeah, 1 hour, 10 minutes, or I use 10 minutes to fix this is not exactly ideal. There we go, but I have to change the scene. There. Okay, now I did it correctly. So we have computers and circuit boards going upstairs. I have this nifty little hypertube that I built earlier that can take us up there. Now it's a matter of connecting that up. Doesn't really matter which one of them I use because both of them are required for this machine, so that would be level 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And I'm going to have to use a lift here. So if I take this down to that level, and I take this down to that level, I think. Because otherwise we'll run into 2, 3, 4. I can actually take them to the same level. Doesn't matter since they are not colliding with one another, and that gives me sufficient space to cross under. Whew, that was intense. Then again, it's always satisfying when you get non-crooked belts. Let's try that again. 1, 2. 1, 2. There we go. Much better. So this machine is making modular engines. These machines are making automated wiring. I'm using the wrong belt speed here. How much automated wire or how much cable did we use? 150. Well done. That would be the belt up there. I believe that's the only one. Ah, that's the wrong one. That's the stators. I can downgrade it again. So that's much better. And then we can downgrade the other one. No need to waste the resources. Ah, that one needs to be upgraded as well. Somehow it feels as if it isn't getting enough cable. I think it is. Because if we're not running 270 cable on the belt. Okay, so we're making the automated wiring. Good. And we should now be making the adaptive control units. Very good. And we should also be making the versatile framework. Good. So all we need to do then is connect that up to the space elevator. And I wonder... does that still make a crooked belt? Well, if I place it correctly, maybe we'll... What? Good. Okay. You cannot make a lift from the space elevator itself, because then it thinks that you're encroaching on the elevator's personal space. That poor elevator. It probably feels violated. Okay, that's better. I don't know what height I want this to come in on. Let's see, if we take... First and foremost, I want to figure out the lane here. This one goes straight ahead here. If I put that here... I think that should be correct. Then the next one goes, well, the next one goes there, and the final, that does not look correct. Yeah, because this one isn't correct. So it has to go from here. It does clip a little bit, but I could not be less concerned about that right now. We need 2 more on this. That's also wrong. I'm getting tired, so I'm making mistakes. One, two, three. Not sure why I removed that. Ah, yes, that's why I removed it. 2, 3, 4. What I can do then is 1, 2, 3, and I can connect that to there, and that one goes here. Now this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, can you connect easily to that? Oh, I might have iron rods. Well, there's nothing up here that uses iron rods as far as I know. Nope. I guess we'll have a little detour then, because I need iron rods, otherwise we can't get anywhere. Now the rod should be here. I probably can pick up some plates as well while I'm at it. Do I have enough cable? Plenty of cable, good. How about now? Would you like to... I'm pretty sure I need one more. And that connects to there. And this one, I believe, is too far away, so we need to make 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we go out from here, and we go up 6. Then that goes there, and then to there. This needs to go 6 up. 2, 3. This needs to go 8 up. 2, 3, 4, 5. And there we go. We are now filling the space elevator, albeit very slowly, with the parts that we need for the final tier. Poof. Now the question is, will my buffers hold? I think so, because, for instance, the most of the belts here are standing still because these machines work so slowly. So it's probably going to be a couple of episodes before we actually get to send anything off with the space elevator, but at least I have this done now, and we can load these things up. It's going to take forever, but especially those 2,500 of those versatile frameworks, that's going to take a very long time. Are they even being produced? Yes, they are. Just takes a long time. So yeah, that's going to take a while. I might actually put up a couple more machines just to get that done quicker, since the machine works so slowly, as I said. The products are just more or less standing still on the belt. So it shouldn't be a major issue to put up... well, it is using 30 steel beams per minute. Or so it claims. But if you have any questions or comments or horrible critique of this... albeit neat spaghetti, it's definitely still spaghetti, please feel free to leave them in the comment section, or you can also come to the Discord server. You'll find the link in the description, and tell me in person. So thank you all so very much for joining me, and I will be seeing you all in the next episode.